Welcome to the deep dive. We cut through the noise, give you the facts, maybe a few laughs, and hopefully make you the most informed person in the room. Today, we are diving deep into yesterday's Major League Baseball action. That was Friday, July 12th. We've gone through basically everything that happened, all the scores, the highlights, the dominant wins, the surprises. And our mission, as always, is to pull out the key nuggets for you. We'll look at the big stories, the standout players, those moments that, really swung the games. Yesterday felt like baseball in a nutshell, didn't it? You had incredible individual efforts, smart managing, and those curveballs, literal and figurative, that just keep you watching. Okay, let's unpack this. So let's start with the statement wins. What really makes a statement in July? Is it just blowing a team out, or is it how you do it? The Yankees gave us Exhibit A, I think, that 11-0 win over the Cubs at Yankee Stadium. I mean, it wasn't just the score. It felt like a declaration. Their whole lineup was hitting top to bottom, and the pitching just completely silenced a Cubs offense that, let's be honest, was looking pretty dangerous coming in.
That's a really good point. And yeah, the Cubs did get a win back later, 5-2.
Yeah.
That first game, that 11-0, that sends ripples. It tells everyone the Bombers are absolutely locked in, especially when the pitching clicks like that. It's a psychological thing, too.
Definitely. And speaking of clicking offensively, how about the Seattle Mariners? First, they beat the Tigers 12-3. Okay, big win. Then they come back and win 15-7. That feels significant for Seattle because getting runs consistently, especially with guys on base, hasn't always been their strong suit.
Exactly. And that's the key takeaway here. And it's still an if, but if their bats can stay this hot, really drive runs in and not just hit homers, you combine that with their pitching, which we know is good, suddenly the Mariners look like a much more legitimate threat out west. For Detroit, though, giving up that many runs, that points to needing some fixes defensively and probably on the mound, too. They got exposed a bit there.
Right. So while some teams were running away with it, elsewhere it was the opposite. That classic divisional grind, close games, nail-biters. The AL East, no surprise, was right in the thick of it. Baltimore gets a solid 5-2 win against Miami. Good pitching from Grayson Rodriguez. Timely hitting.
6 shutout innings from him, yeah. And they were 3 for 5 with runners in scoring position. Clutch.
Then you had Boston and Tampa Bay. A 5-4 win for the Red Sox. Just a typical hard-fought AL East battle.
It really feels like that's just the standard in that division now, doesn't it? These tight games. It makes you think every single game, heck, every pitch is going to be huge down the stretch, almost like playoff games already. And you got to give the Rays credit, too. They lost, but they hang tough. They always seem to find a way to make it close. That resilience is impressive.
Totally agree. And that intensity wasn't just in the East. Look at the NL West. The Giants pulled out an 8-7 walk-off against the Dodgers. That had to be one of the most exciting finishes of the day. Just pure rivalry baseball. Back and forth, neither team giving an inch. Really shows you how unpredictable this sport can be.
And then, true to form, the Dodgers come back and take the next one 2-1. It just highlights the stakes in those games. Every time they play, it feels like it means more than just one game in the standings. It's about that divisional fight.
Back over in the AL, another big divisional matchup. Texas beat Houston 7-3. Those wins against a direct rival like the Astros, they just feel heavier, don't they? Extra weight in the standings, maybe a mental edge, too.
Absolutely. And then you had Cleveland and the White Sox going at it. Typical tight divisional games there. White Sox win 1-5-4 in 11 innings. Real grinder. Then Cleveland bounces back, takes the next one 6-2. It just shows the grit, Both teams battling hard, bullpen, chess matches. That's division baseball.
Okay, let's shift a bit to resilience, adaptability, and some individual moments that stood out. How about Colorado winning 3-2 against the Reds at Coors Field?
Right.
A 3-2 game at Coors is like finding a cheap parking spot in Manhattan. It doesn't happen often.
Yeah, that's rare. It really puts the spotlight on the pitching, doesn't it? Both starters, the bullpens, must have been dialed in. Some clutch plays needed there, too.
And then, true to form, the Reds adjust and find a way, winning the next one 4-3.
And that split, I think, it just shows how resilient both those teams are and how tight the margins are in the National League right now. Seems like so many games come down to one run, one play. Really underscores the parity.
And the Twins look like they're finding a groove. They swept a pair from the Pirates. First, a tight 2-1 win.
Pitcher's duel.
Exactly. And then they explode for a 12-4 win. That ability to win in different styles, that's a good sign, isn't it?
It's huge. It means they're not just relying on one thing. They can win with pitching and defense, or they can outslug you. That adaptability is key if you're thinking about October.
Meanwhile, the Brewers just keep rolling. Took 2 from the Nationals, 8-3, and then a closer one, 6-5.
They're just so consistent. Game in, game out, they find ways to win. Solid offense, bullpen locks it down. They look like a top contender, no doubt.
And we should mention the Mets. They needed a good day against the Royals and got it. 2 wins, 8-3 and 3-1. Crucial wins for them, especially in that packed NL East race. Now, beyond the team stuff, there were some moments of just individual brilliance. Here's where it gets really interesting. Juan Soto for the Mets. That 2-run homer in the first game, 435 feet, just a monster shot, pure power.
Yeah, and that ties back to what we said about the Mets winning different ways. They can grind out a low-scoring win, but they also have guys like Soto who can change the game with one swing. That makes them dangerous. Shows a well-rounded team.
And Mike Trout, doing Mike Trout things. A 2-run homer in the fifth for the Angels ends up being the difference in a 6-5 win over the Diamondbacks.
Classic Trout.
Yeah.
Just delivers the big blow when they need it. Still amazing to watch.
So amazing.
And just quickly, the Padres also got a solid win 4-2 over the Phillies, important for their own push. So when you see all these different results, blowouts, tight games, individual heroics, if we connect this to the bigger picture.
Well, yeah, putting it all together yesterday was just... It was baseball, right? Everything the sport offers. You had the lopsided wins like the Yankees showing pure dominance, but then you had all these nail-biters, the extra inning games, the walk-offs like the Giants, kept you glued to the scores.
Exactly. You saw teams like the Yankees laying down a marker, just pure authority. But then so many one-run games. The Guardians, White Sox going deep, the Giants, Dodgers finish. It really highlights the parity. There are no easy outs, no guaranteed wins in this league right now.
And those moments of individual brilliance, we mentioned Soto's bomb, Trout's clutch homer, they weren't just highlights for SportsCenter. They were often the deciding factor in close games. It reminds you how one player, one swing, can literally change the outcome.
And pitching was right there alongside it. You had dominant starts where guys just shut down good lineups. And then you had those gritty bullpen performances, guys coming in with runners on base in the late innings and finding a way to get out of it, just holding on.
Plus, the resilience piece. Teams like the Cubs, the Reds, they take a punch in the first game, could easily roll over, but they fight back, get a win in the second game. It proves that old saying, right? No lead is safe. It's never over till it's over. It's a full 9 innings.
Absolutely. And finally, those divisional rivalries. You could feel the intensity, couldn't you? Especially AL East, NL West. It felt like more than just a July game. It felt like playoff baseball sometimes. These games are about setting a tone, gaining that psychological edge, making a statement that lasts beyond just that one day.
So what does this all mean for you watching at home, for the teams making decisions? Yesterday really showed why we watched this game. It's amazing unpredictability. But if no lead is truly safe, like we said, and games can flip instantly, how does a day like yesterday impact what teams do next? Especially with the trade deadline getting closer, the playoff race is heating up. How does it affect the mental side?
Yeah, that's the big question, isn't it? It puts enormous pressure on front offices. Does that nail-biting loss where your bullpen couldn't hold it, maybe you go out and pay a premium for a closer, like maybe after that Giants-Dodgers slugfest? Or if your offense suddenly catches fire like Seattle's, do you maybe hold off on trading for a bat and address another need? And mentally, a walk-off win can make a team feel like they can beat anyone. A tough loss means you have to have a short memory, reset quick, especially if you've got another rival coming up next. It's all about how these daily results create these pressure points, influencing those deadline moves and just ratcheting up the intensity for the stretch run. Every decision feels magnified.
Really well put. A lot to think about as the season rolls on. Thanks for joining us for this deep dive into yesterday's MLB action.